Alright, I'm recording this session now. Okay. So, guys, today we're going to be working on our second class of the week, number 1. Ready? It's a little bit complementary to the previous class, in which we were talking about, well, first, the uses of the gerund, talking about gerund at the beginning, gerund at the end, gerund as a subject, gerund as an object, and also talking a little bit about the family members, right? So, today we're going to start this class with a personality test. Ready? It's going to be super simple. We're just going to have to read the two different options and you select one of the options. For example, in the first level, we have extroverts and introverts. So you were going to read both and then you select one. Ready? At the end, we are going to have a personality test, which is going to give me an acronym. For example, ESTP, because it's extrovert, sensor, thinker, and perceiver. So let's read the different descriptions, and then you select the one that you are. Ready? So, my dear Santiago, brother, help me with the first level, extroverts and introverts.
Okay, extroverts. Extroverts are energized by people, enjoy a variety of tasks, a quick pace, and are good at multitasking. And introverts often like working alone or in small groups, prefer a more deliberate pace, and
Pace
like to focus pace, and like to focus on one task at the time.
at a time. Good, very good. There is a difference between peace with EA and the other one, which is pace. Ready? Peace, of course, is fast. Pace is ritmo. Ready?
Uh,
Listo, excellent. So, Santi, ¿cuál escoges? Introverts or extroverts? What do you think?
between.
Okay, you could use both. So in my case, I'm going to choose both because sometimes I am introvert, sometimes I am extrovert. Good. Listo? Sara, number 2, second level, intuitives and sensors.
Hi, teacher.
Hello.
Okay. Intuitives prefer to focus on possibilities and the big picture. Patterns, how do you say patterns? Value innovation and seek creative solution to problems.
Creative
And
solution to problems. Good.
sensors are realistic people who like to focus on the facts and details. They apply common sense and past experience to find practical solutions to problems.
Exactly. What do you think, my dear Sara? Sensors or intuitives? In your case.
Mm, I think I have both,
Okay, very good.
both of them. Yeah, sometimes I'm intuitive and sometimes I'm, I am sensors.
Of
Well,
course,
I
very
am.
good. Okay, good. Well, for you, for all of you, if you find both or if you choose both, it's because it's really 50-50% of the time. If you have more than the other, choose that one. Because of course, we always have both, but the idea is to find out which one is more predominant in my personality. In my case, for example, here, of course, sometimes I'm intuitive, but usually I am sensor, usually. So in the first one, I'm 50-50, but in this one, mostly sensor. Good. Bueno, thank you so much. Luisa, number three, sorry. Thinkers and feelers.
Thinkers? Thinkers tend to make their decision using logical analysis, I don't know.
Analysis, good.
Uh, Objectively, weigh pros and cons, and value honestly consistency and
Consistency,
fairness.
and fairness, good. And feelers,
Feelers tend to be sensitive in corporate and decide based on their own personal values and how others will be affected with their actions.
good, very good. We're going to do something. Oh, but what recommendation do? Try to read not so fast. Don't worry about the speed, but careful with some pronunciation. So feelers tend to be sensitive and cooperative and decide based on their own personal values and how the others will be affected by their actions. O sea, the fluency is pretty good, but take your time to remember the pronunciation of those words. I know that you know it, sé que lo sabes solo, pero cuando uno está leyendo como el texto completo, a veces los confunde o los olvida, como que estás pensando en no trabarte, entonces pasas por alto como la pronunciación correcta. Ready? No problem, no worry.
Okay.
Bueno, Lu, choose one, thinker or feeler? What do you think?
God. I need to read again. So sorry.
Okay, don't worry, don't worry. Well, in my case, I am more like a thinker, no, because I try to use logical analysis. I try to be very objective. I try to be very consistent and fair, like fair, you know. So far, my personality sometimes is IST, other times is EST. And let's go to the last level of the personality test. It's going to be between judgers and perceivers. Pedro.
Judges tend to be organized and prepared, like to make and stick to plans, and are comfortable following most rules.
Mhm.
And perceivers prefer to keep their options open, like to be able to act spontaneously, and like to be reflexive with making plans.
Mhm. Very good. Excellent. So, which one do you consider yourself? A judger or a perceiver?
I think judges.
Judger. Good. Okay. Me too. I think also myself as a judger, you know? Like I try to be super organized always. I try to be prepared for everything. I try to act according to the law, to the rules, you know? Sometimes I act spontaneously, but depending, I mean, not so much. Most of my time, I try to be very organized. I try to have a plan for everything, like a routine established. So at the end of the exam, I got two different kinds of personalities. Sometimes I am ISTJ, or sometimes I'm ESTJ. Ready? Santi, what about you? Which one do you got?
I select both, but I usually judge.
Judger, okay. So,
Usually.
but in the four aspects, which are your four letters?
I organize, prepare.
Okay, yes, Santi, but in the four aspects, like the first level, the second level, the third level, and the fourth level, which are your letters?
Mm,
Guys,
and
try to select one in all the levels between extrovert and introverts, one, intuitives and sensors, one, thinkers and feelers, one, and judgers and perceivers, one.
first level A,
E,
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 N,
N,
T.
T,
How do you say J, teacher? I don't
J,
know.
J,
J.
J. Muy bien, very good. So this is Santi. Sara, what about you?
For me, are E,
E,
N,
N,
F,
F,
and I have 50-50 J and P.
P or G, J or P. Very good, excellent. Pero,
ESTJ.
ESTJ. Thank you so much. And Rita?
Sorry,
Mm,
teacher. I try to say I.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Don't worry, no problem. ISTJ. Okay, so very similar to mine. Okay, very good. And Luisa?
I don't know. L,
E,
E, uh, M, T,
and
and J.
J. Listo, very good. Bueno, so according to your acronyms that you got, according to the acronyms that you got, we're going to read the personality type that you got. Ready? So in here we have all the acronyms. Okay, so let's try to find the first one. Well, for example, let's talk about Santiago's acronym is ENTJ. ENTJ, the last one. Santi, great.
Strategic, logical, efficient, outgoing, ambitious, independent, effective organizer of people, and long-range planners.
Yeah, do you feel identified or not?
I agree.
You agree? Okay, very good, excellent. So Sarah says ENFP or J sometimes. So ENFJ. Sarita, read this one. Is the first one.
Caring, enthusiastic, idealistic, organized, diplomatic, responsible, skilled communicators who value connection with people. Yeah, I'm definitely like that.
I'm definitely like that. And the other one was ENPFP. Go ahead.
P, enthusiastic, creative, spontaneous, optimistic, supportive, playful, value inspiration, enjoy um, enjoy starting new projects, see potential in others. Yeah,
Also like that. Yeah.
also, yeah.
Okay, so we are not one kind of personality all 100% of times. Sometimes we can change, right? But actually, these ones are very related, so perfect. That's all right. Very good. Bueno, Peter, you said ESTJ. The first one. Peter, could you please read it?
Responsible, since I don't know how do you say
Sincere. Sincere?
sincere, analytical, reserved, realistic, systematic, hardworking, and trustworthy with sound practical judgment.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you identify there or not?
I feel identified with this, with those attributes.
Okay, very good. Yeah, this personality test is actually pretty accurate, so it's pretty easy that it's pretty common that we feel identified over here. The last one was ENTJ. ENTJ. Ah, it's actually the same as Santiago. So Lou, do you feel identified with this one? Strategic, logical, efficient, outgoing, independent, ambitious.
Yes.
Good, excellent, very good. Well, so this personality test, of course, that tries to analyze different aspects of our life, especially how we make decisions. This is the personality test Myers-Briggs, and it analyzes how we make decisions, right? Good. So in this case, you feel identified. So I think that the personality test is accurate. You know what is the meaning of accurate? What do we say? The meaning of accurate?
Preciso?
Preciso, very good, excellent. So it's accurate, because it can identify some features or some patterns of your personality. Of course, it's not complete, right? But it's pretty accurate in some different parts. Now, I would like to ask you a question. Let me read this part. The question is really simple. My dear Pedro, could you please read it? The question?
Why are you the way you are?
Sorry, here is a mistake. There is a mistake. It's not they, but they. Sorry, again.
Why are you the way you are?
Why are you the way you are? It means, why do you think that you are organized, or why do you think that you are so spontaneous, or why do you think that you are so creative, right? For example, my description is actually the same as the Pedro's description. It's that I am very responsible, organized, very cautious about the planning, no? And I think that I am like that because of my mother. I would say that my mom, yeah, well, actually my mom and my father, they, no, they must have demanded a lot from me when I was a child? Yeah, I suppose. That's what I suppose. I'm not so sure. I'm not 100% sure. I am almost sure because that's pretty related. But I think that they must have demanded a lot from me when I was a child. Now, what do you think about you? Why do you think that you are like that? Why are you creative? Why are you like that?
I think that I am hardworking because I grew up with my grandparents. I I lived in the small town, in a little farm until I have 16, and I usually had to start the day very early in the morning, like 5 o'clock. I mean, because I had to help to my grandparents, and then I had to study in in the college.
In the school.
School, sorry, teacher.
Mhm. So, according to what he says, I'm thinking that he must have become hardworking in the farm or in the countryside. But in the countryside, it's like el campo. In the countryside. Yeah, good, excellent. Thank you, Pedro. That's a good reason. Good. What about the others?
Teacher, in my case, I am organized because my mom is too. We like to see things clean.
Okay. Okay. So Santi could have gotten his habits, his habit from his mom, right?
Right,
Perfect.
teacher.
Okay, good, very good. Listo. Sara, Luisa, what do you think?
Me. My mom is very compassive or
Compassionate.
when she compassionate because she loves help people, and I'm like that. I love help people and and go to foundation and bring happy to, but I don't know how to say it. Take give happiness to all the people around me.
Bring is also possible. It was a good idea. Bring happiness to the people. Good, that's great. Ready? Sarita, remember, after love, very ing. She loves helping people. I love helping people, no?
Yeah,
Good.
sorry.
No, right, no problem, no problem. Okay, very good. So I would say that Sarah might have learned, she might have learned from mom. Muy bien, very good. So she might have learned to be compassionate, to be empathetic with others from her mom. That's it. Very good. And Luisa, what do you think?
Oh, teacher, I think about this, but I think maybe I am very responsible. I don't like I like be fairness, yes, and independent because I don't know. I grew out my mom. That is the reason I think so.
So,
Yes.
okay. So she says, I think so. So she's not completely clear. Like she could say, for example, like, teacher, I might have learned, again, I might have learned, from my mom. It's actually the same as Sarah, no? So I might have learned from mom to be fair, to be just. Good, excellent. So in that case, guys, what we are doing is, well, you were analyzing the results of your personality test and trying to relate it to some things of your past, no? So usually with the family, because of course the personality is the result of how we were raised, You know what is the meaning of raised? What is the meaning of raised? No ideas.
What are you learning? Pass the time. You are growing in your thinkings and I don't know the word in Spanish.
Oh, well, raised, yeah, it means criado, like como fueron criados, how we were raised by our parents or grandparents, in the case of Pedro, right? So the personality is a result of that, right? As you could notice, I can say, for example, like, yeah, no, I did this, I had to do that in the past, but also we can include the modal verbs in past that we learned in the previous level in order to make suppositions about the past, no? So it's a possibility that Sarah might, sorry, here is missing a T, might have learned from her mom. Same as Luisa, she might have learned from her mom, right? Or we could say that Santiago could have gotten his organization habits from his mom too, right? And it's for sure that Pedro must have become a hardworking in the countryside with his grandparents, no? With all his the hard work that is there, he must have become so hardworking there, no? So let's remember that we are going to use different kinds of modal verbs. Well, the idea is that since we're talking about the past, all of them are going to be modal verbs in the past. It's the modal verb plus the inclusion of have plus the inclusion of the verb in past participle. For example, Pedro must have become. Verb to verb, modal verb, verb to have, verb in past participle. Santiago could have gotten. Sarah Sarah and Luisa might have learned, so we're going to use the same structure in order to create suppositions in this case. Well, previously we talked about how can we use these sentences for talking about mysteries and things that we don't know, right? So like, yes, probably the robber must have entered by the window, like trying to solve a mystery, no? But also it can be used in order to make suppositions about something that we lived, but we're not completely sure how it happened, right? So, for example, here, we can do it, as I told you, using the modal verb, must, could, might, may or might, and have, right? But at the same time, I can also use the negative words, right? Or the negative structures, which is might not, sorry, yes, might not, may not, mustn't, and couldn't. Difference that when I say might not or may not, it's something that I think it's not that is not possible, right? I think that it was not in that way. But when I say mustn't or couldn't, I'm sure that the action didn't happen on that way. I'm sure that the action was impossible, right? The same way we know must, it's for something that it's 90% sure, like I am almost sure. Could is like 50-50, could be or could not be. May or might, it's like something like, I have no idea. I'm making just a wild guess. And most or couldn't, it's like 0%. I am sure that the action didn't happen on that way, right? So, for example, I don't know, like I became super organized. Yeah, I became super organized. My mother is very organized. My brothers are not so much, but my mother is very organized. So I am almost sure that I must have adapted the habits of my mom to myself, the habits of my mom. I'm almost sure. So that's why I use must, right? But at the same time, I could say, my father was really, like chauvinist. He was like a very classical father. So he was a little bit chauvinist, no? But at the same time, I also grew up in a male school. I didn't study with girls. So I could have learned from my dad, from my dad or maybe in the school. That's why I use could. I'm not completely sure. It's a possibility with my father. It's a possibility in the school that I was studying. So that's why here I use these modal verbs plus have, right? Teacher, no sé, did you have a problem for not studying with girls? Probably. I may not have learned, I may not have learned to talk to women. But that's a possibility, like it's only a possibility, right? So I'm saying like also negative structures I'm thinking like it's not completely certain, it's just a possibility that I am including about my past. Ready? Any questions about this part? It's a topic that we saw like 2 weeks ago, but anyway, questions about it, difficulties, problems?
For the moment, no, teacher.
Okay, for the moment, no, for the moment, it's all right. Ready? Guys, I would like you to think one more time in your childhood, right? And try to describe, in this case, what do you think that could have been one of the most important memories that you have? Like, one of the most important lessons that you have about your past. Like the ones that you told me, like more related to your personality, like what must have happened or what could have happened with you, what could have affected your personality in your past, right? So take a moment, take a minute, think what were the situations that could have affected your life. Okay, so what can you tell me about those pasts? Any ideas, any meaningful memories about your childhood?
Me, teacher.
Go ahead, Sarita.
When my grandmother died, I must have changed all my habits, because or uh, or my personality, because I was so dependent uh, for her, or
Also
with
dependent on
with her
her, on
on
her.
her. Okay,
Uh-huh.
on her. And when she died, I started to live my life, or
Good.
being more independent, responsible.
Good, excellent. So Sarah says, like, I am almost sure that when my grandmother, sorry, unfortunately died, I must have changed all my personality. Well, of course, it's not totally sure because she cannot perceive herself, but that's what she believed. Good, excellent. That's great. Wonderful, Sarita. Anything else, Santi, Ru, Pedro? What do you think, bro?
Yes, teacher, I have one.
Mhm.
In my childhood, I couldn't sit still, and this caused me many accidents. I learned that I must be more prudent and think about things before.
Okay, very good. So in that case, you said like, well, this caused me many accidents, but probably it was that action. Probably it was that you were distracted. Probably. So you could say this could have caused me, right? So including like one little percentage of doubt, no? Like this could have caused me a lot of problems or many accidents, right?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Como podría haberme.
Yeah, exactly, like that. Like, podría haberme causado, like pudo haberme causado, maybe, because actually it caused. But we are talking about like it's a possibility that it was the reason that I couldn't sit still, or maybe it was because I was not skillful enough. Well, different reasons. Okay, Santi, good.
Okay, good.
Perfect. Listo, excellent. What about Luisa? What about Pedro? Yes. Anything else? Anything from your past?
Oh, yes, teacher. But I want to know, this is English class or or how do you say?
Psychology class.
Class.
I know.
So I think my personality is very difficult sometimes, but I think I'm almost sure, no, I'm very sure that my mom died when I was shy. So I don't know. You had to change because you are very shy. So um, I don't know. I think that is the reason. And my father, go. So I grew up with my grandma. So I think so. Maybe that is the reason. It's Mars. It's absolutely Mars. So
Uh-huh.
uh,
Exactly. So, yes.
I must have. I don't know how do you say, but
Exactly. So, for example, Lisa must have grown up faster because she must have become sorry more independent because she lost her mom. Her father was not there, so she must have grown up faster than the rest of the kids. No, it happened also to me. Good. Excellent, Luisa. That one's great. Excellent, excellent. Ready? Muy bien. Pedro, do you have another? Something like that? No? Yes.
Mm, I I don't think that a specific event in the past can be transformed us in a particular person. Uh, those experience could have changed changed our special way to see the world and the life. So
Exactly like that. Good, excellent. So the experiences don't change per se your person, but they could have given or they could have changed the perception of the life. Good, that's right. Right? Okay, Peter, thank you so much. Good. Okay, so well, basically that's the way. In this case, we use these modal verbs, yeah, not to find the mysteries or something like that. Also, that's another use, but this time we are using them for making our own suppositions about our own life, right? So, what are the reasons that probably we are like this, or that probably we had that problem, or what that like why probably we became mature, or when was the moment when we possibly became adults, no? So that's the way that we're going to use it today. So excellent like that. In addition to these modal verbs, we have other modal verbs, which are going to help me for other different reasons, right? Previously, we talked about could have, must have, and might have for talking about certainty, making suppositions. But here we're going to have other modal verbs which are going to help me with other different uses also in the past, right? Previously, we have seen the should have, which, it's talking about regrets, yes, and judgments. So it's talking about if it was something that it was not the best idea, probably, but I did it, or something that was a good idea and I didn't do it, right? The same way we're going to have the whatever was supposed to or be supposed to, which is talking about what was normal, yeah, but what was expected from me or from a person and didn't happen, right? Then we have had to, which is obligation about the past, and need to or needed to, which is about necessity also in the past, right? So when I say should have or shouldn't have, it's something that I'm talking about only if it was a good idea or a bad idea, but I did the opposite, right? If it was a bad idea, anyway, I did it. So it's a regret. Or if it was a good idea, I didn't do it. So in that case, anyway, it's a regret, right? Guys, what is the last thing that you shouldn't have done? That you say like, "Ah, what is the last thing that you shouldn't have done, guys?" What do you think? Any regrets? Anything that you think like, ah, I shouldn't have done this. I'm so stupid. Oh, nothing? Oh my God, you have good lives.
Teacher.
What about that? Tell me. What is something that you regret about? Like a mistake that you probably made, big or small, doesn't have to be so big, you know? So can be something, trivial.
Me, I shouldn't have stayed in United States when I could.
I should or I shouldn't.
I shouldn't
Why not?
because I wanted to finish my university, so I had mm, to came here and finish, but I am regret with that decision because I could stay there.
Ah, okay. So in that case, is I should have. Debiste. I should have.
I should no, yeah. I
Yes.
but if I say I shouldn't have stayed in United States.
It's like no te debiste haber quedado, pero no te quedaste.
Okay, so I should have stayed. Yeah,
Exactly. Uh-huh. What you said probably it's like I shouldn't have came back. I shouldn't have come back.
yeah, okay.
Mhm. Okay, very good. That's a big regret. No, but I mean, she wanted to stay there, but she had to come to finish the career. No, so important. This that is with have, it's the only one that is going to be followed by a verb in past participle, equally to the previous ones. Could have, should have, must have, all of them, always with a verb in past participle. But all of these finish in two, even if they are in past, because they are in past, was, had, needed, the verb that is after this one, which is after two, it's going to be always in infinitive. Ready? So I had to come in infinitive. I have to study. I had to comply. I had to do. I had to work. Well, whatever, but always in infinitive. Ready? The verb that we're going to conjugate is only the first one. Had, was, needed, all of that. Ready? Okay. Listo, guys. Bueno, very good. Anything else? Anybody else? What is the last thing that you shouldn't have done? Oh, bueno, one thing that you shouldn't have done. Don't forget about the last thing.
Teacher, in my case, is the payment of my university. I should not have taken an ICETEX credit because the interest is very high.
It
Or
happened the
I
same.
should have paid quickly.
Okay, very good, good. I completely feel you because I shouldn't have taken the credit with, bueno, for my apartment with the fondo, because the interests are super high and the inflations, my God, that's killing me. So I shouldn't have done that either. I understand.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, Santi, thank you so much. Good. What about Lou? Anything? Any regrets?
I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have drunk a lot in the last party, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a possibility too. Good. Okay. So you said like, my God, I think that I excess myself, right? So
Yes, that
shouldn't.
was terrible. I remember very well. Oh,
I
this is
do.
the reason why never I had actually in this moment I don't drink.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yes, that is the reason.
Is it like,
Because
no, that's end of the story. I will never drink again,
yes.
right?
eh,
Okay, very good, Lisa. Thank you so much. Yeah, those are common mistakes. Pedro, what about you, bro?
Teacher, I should have studied my postgraduate degree 4 years ago because now I don't have time to do this and the energy. So,
Okay, what are you doing? An specialization or a magister?
specialization teacher
On what?
in neuronal networks.
Okay, good, very good. Neural networks. That's great. That's great. That's great. But you're a engineer, right?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay,
Continue.
fine. That's good. That's good. He's gonna give you, but of course, the specialization or any postgraduate takes a lot of time. So, my God, good. Okay, good, good. So that was about the first. It's only if it's a good idea or a best idea, like good idea or not good idea, right? So we said like, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, simply like a regret. The second one, it's like be supposed to. It's different because when I talk about be supposed to, it's not a good idea or a bad idea. It's what it's normal or what is not normal that the people do. Yeah, but sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Sometimes I prefer to do other things because I don't like to do what the people do, right? So tell me the last thing. Yeah, the last thing you were supposed to do, but you didn't. So what was the last thing or one thing that you were supposed to do, but you didn't do or you didn't, and you enjoy it? For example, I was supposed to, I don't know, well, yeah, I was supposed to have kids, like, earlier, like 29, 30, and I haven't, and I enjoyed it. I am going to do it later, yes, but so far I was supposed to have already kids, but I didn't, and I enjoyed it, right? What about you? Something that you were supposed to do, you didn't do it, and that's better because you enjoy it that way. For example, Sarah said like, teacher, I was supposed to finish my career and I did it. But something on the other side, something that you were supposed to do, but you didn't do it. Any ideas? No, nothing? Nothing comes
no.
to mind? Oh my God. Guys, what about Peter, Santi, Sarah? No? Anything?
That is a hard question.
Let's avoid the fact that you enjoy it. Let's forget about that. Something that you were supposed to do and you didn't. That's it. So I suppose that you comply always with your obligations, because if you don't find an answer to that, it's because you always do what you are supposed to do. Good, congratulations. Very, very good people.
No, I supposed to go to gym, but I didn't.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we are supposed to go to, well, we were supposed to go to the gym, but no time. Sometimes we are too tired.
No, or I don't like the gym, or I don't like to do exercise.
Oh, Sarita, why not? Exercising is great.
Nah, I know it's healthy, but I don't like it.
Okay, wonderful. Very good. Very honest. I like honesty. Good. Okay, Lou,
So,
tell me.
teacher, I supposed to study my MBA very early, but I didn't yet.
Okay, very good. So, what were you supposed to study? What was the acronym?
MBA is Magister Business Administration.
Ah, okay, got it. Okay, good. So you are just like waiting.
Yes, I had to wait because in Colombia it's so expensive.
I know. I have
Yes.
listened to.
And
Mm.
here in Canada, I need to improve my English. So, and it's expensive too. So,
Good. Okay, no, don't worry. You're going to get it at the end of this course. I know that you're going to be able to study that thing, like enter at least to the first semester or something. Good. Mhm. Okay, guys, what about you, Santi, Peter?
I
My
was
teacher.
supposed to watch a TV series right now, teacher, but I prefer to study English.
Good, 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 good. Okay, that was like excellent. In that case, you can change the verb to be. Well, because if you said right now, you could say I am, no? So I am supposed to watch ta ta ta, but I didn't know. Well, but I prefer to study English. If it's in the past, of course, I can do it with verb to be in past. I was supposed to, but if it's in the present, the same. I can say I am supposed to, but I prefer to study English also. Muy bien, pero. Pedro, anyone? You were going to say something before?
Teacher, I I finished to talk. I think that is Santiago.
Yes.
Yes, teacher. In my
Ah,
case, I suppose to start my specialization after finish my degree, but I still got a find a good job.
okay, very good, Santi. Good. I was supposed to, no, because you finished your career some time ago, so I was supposed
I
to
was
start.
supposed.
Mhm. Listo, good, very good. So in that case, I was supposed to something that was like the normal thing, but you didn't do it, no? So especially here, we're having troubles with the postgraduated. So with the postgraduate, it's having problems like here, but okay. So excellent. There is going to be different because in the first one we were talking about good ideas, bad ideas, like regrets, but it didn't happen. Now here we're talking about if it was normal or not, if it was expected or not, and that's it. The last two are going to be easy, like obligation and necessity. Necessity, it's an obligation which is not so mandatory. It's an obligation like 1 degree less from obligation, right? It's because I think, I feel, I perceive that it's necessary, but probably it's not. When I use had to, it's because it's an obligation. For example, guys, one rule you hated from your school, one rule you hated from school. For example, in my case, we had to use completely white sneakers for the PE. You know what is the meaning of PE? PE is physical education. Physical education, right? So in that case, for PE, we had to use completely white sneakers. I hated because I didn't like those sneakers. So, but it was an obligation. We had to. What about you? One rule that you hated from school?
I hate had to use the long skirt. Oh my God.
Okay, yeah, it was common, no? So the skirt under the knee, right?
Yes, oh, horrible. And the
Yeah.
teacher sometimes put on in the door and say, "You found, you scared you." Huh? Why?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know why, but okay, good. Yes. Also, the girls had to do that in school. Good. Excellent, Lisa. Thank you. What else? Anybody else? Anything else? Any other crazy rule? No more? No more problems with the rules? That's it?
Maybe this is a problem. I had to be more prudent.
I had what? Sorry, Rita?
I have to be more prudent. I don't know how to say it. Prudent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I say that I say the things what I think.
Yeah, straightforward.
Everything. Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I think that that was not an obligation, so I think that you needed to
Right.
because it was a
Yeah, it's
necessity.
true.
You know? So,
But it's too obligation because at the job or or in a specific moments you had to do it.
okay, good. Yeah, sometimes because if you know if it's in the manual of convivence or in the rules of the company, it says okay, you have to respect the boss, da, 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 da. So you had to. It's because an obligation. No, sometimes it's because we need to, like it's because we want to avoid problems, or sometimes it's because it's an obligation. Good. Okay, so that good. Anything else, guys? Pedro, Santi, any rule that you hated from school?
Teacher, in my case, I hated meetings in the morning.
Ah, okay. So you had to attend to the meetings in the morning?
With the
Oh,
whole school.
oh my God. Ah, okay, got it. Yeah, like in the yard, no?
Mm-hmm.
And the principal of the school was
Exactly.
talking for 2 hours like this. Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Because anti-excellent, very good. So in this case, guys, the idea is that we can use some modal verbs for one reason, some other modal verbs for another reason, ready? So we can also use, well, we have seen these modal verbs before, but also we can, I mean, it's not only for talking about the mystery and the story and blah, 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 but it's also for talking about, like aspects of your life. So, ready? Guys, in the checkpoint of the week, number 2 is only one activity. It's going to be a story about some mystery. So in that case, it's about mystery, but it's orally, it's speaking. Ready? So include these modal verbs into the story that you are going to describe. Ready? Is describing a story with certain characteristics that the instructions are in the image, as usual. So do it, but including these modal verbs, okay? The modal verbs for talking about regrets, obligations in the past, and also for talking about suppositions in the past. So you can use these resources in order to tell the story that you have. Also, if you want, you can include the gerund part, so talking about the story, it can be used in the present, in the past, so you can include also that resource. Okay, guys, ready? That's the checkpoint of the week number 2 for you to take it into account.
Thank you, teacher.
So,
Okay, teacher.
no
Thank
problem,
you.
no problem. Good. Bueno, my dear people, so the next week we only have one class that it's on Thursday, I think so. I think that it's on Thursday. So see you in that class. It's the class of the week number 2. And for the moment, that's it. See you soon. If you need me for any reason, text me, send me a text to WhatsApp, and there I will be very attentive of you. Okay, so see you then. See you the next week. Have a good night. Thank you for the attention, for the participation. Thank you for everything. Okay.
Thanks, teachers. Have a nice day.
Sure,
Goodbye.
thank you.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye bye, Sarita. Bye bye, Santi. Bye bye, Lu. Bye bye, Pedro.